I was a military-connected kid. My dad was in the Guard, and he did spend a significant time away from our home and because of military things and traveling overseas and that kind of thing. I feel like every time he went away, something happened in our household that, things would break. And my mom always said, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen when Dad's gone. So I think that's true with a lot of military families. A lot of military wives feel like that. I had a lot of military friends, a lot of friends that, were there for a time and then moved on. And I knew from really the time I graduated high school that I wanted to be in ministry. I went to seminary and I ended up getting a job at the chapel. This is over at Patrick Air Force Base as the Protestant coordinator there. Really kind of fell in love with military ministry, but I knew my heart was with the youth, with teenagers. You talk to churches that have youth programs, they have no idea what this niche group of teenagers that are military-connected teens need. They don't even know half the time that there are military-connected kids in their youth group. They just see kids coming and then one day they're not there, and they don't really have context of why they're not coming anymore when they've, moved to another base. And I got to a point during the pandemic in 2020 where I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm so tired. I'll just go and minister to kids in a church somewhere as long as I'm, with teenagers. Right after Christmas, maybe it's December 27th or 28th, I get a call from Maddie Spencer, who's like, hey, I just called the chapel at MacDill Air Force Base and they gave me your number. So I'm with Youth for Christ Military. Have you ever heard of us? No, I've never heard of you. It was like a match made in heaven. I was open to this. This is something I had been praying for years. I had been praying for a network of people. To have someone come in and say, hey, we can offer this to you, was just a blessing for me. Most kids are worrying about their ACT scores, what college we're going to go to, and a military kid may be worrying about what he saw on the news and where his dad is or where his mom is. They may be finally kind of starting to form a connection with someone, and then their dad gets orders or their mom gets orders. One of the things that we try to provide is a place for kids to open up and to be themselves and not have to hide behind being the athlete or being the A+ student or being the actor. They can just be a teenager and be themselves and be silly, and nobody judges them. So I tell the kids when they're in my home, everybody's welcome, no matter what they look like, what they act like, where they come from. And Campus Life Military is all of our homes, and everyone is welcome just the way that they are. Even though all these military kids come from different backgrounds, some faith backgrounds, some never even stepping foot inside a church in their life, they all can relate and they all can bond over being a military kid. They need other kids like them that understand what they're going through. They need another kid that understands that it may be hard to sleep at night because you're worried about your dad, or you're having a hard time fitting in because you've just moved here and you just haven't found your group of people yet. One of the things that I want to instill in them is that no matter where you go, Christ is with you. He's not the person that's going to leave you. When you PCS away from your friends, Christ goes with you. When you're in a school where no one knows your name, Christ knows your name.